impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. As we gear up for what promises to be an intriguing NFL season, there's a buzz around Cleveland that's impossible to ignore. The Browns, a franchise with a storied history, but also a fair share of ups and downs, seem to be entering a new chapter, one that could redefine their trajectory in the AFC North and perhaps even in the entire league. And right at the heart of this shift is the quarterback room, a place that's been receiving a lot of attention lately, not just because of the talent, but because of the chemistry, mentorship, and leadership that's brewing behind the scenes. You've probably heard the name Deshaun Watson making headlines again, but not just for his on-field performance. Despite his injury setbacks, particularly the Achilles tear that will keep him out for most, if not all, of next season, Watson's presence remains felt around the Browns' facility in a way that's quite remarkable. He's been more than just a player on the sidelines. He's been a leader, a mentor, a guiding force for the young guns in that room. And it's not just speculation. It's backed by insiders and reports coming straight from Cleveland. Watson, who's been rehabbing diligently and staying engaged, has formed a particularly strong bond with none other than Shedeur Sanders, the talented quarterback the Browns drafted in the 5th round this year, a guy who's been turning heads since his college days and now finds himself in the NFL, learning and growing in the shadows of a seasoned veteran like Watson. What's really striking here is how Watson has taken Sanders under his wing, as Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland.com put it. Despite being sidelined, Watson's influence in the quarterback room is palpable. It's a testament to his leadership qualities, even in the face of adversity. Remember, Watson was famously labeled a big swing and a miss by Browns owner Jimmy Haslam at the NFL annual meetings earlier this year. It was a controversial take, but it seems like Watson is more focused than ever on proving his worth, not just through his play when healthy, but through his mentorship of younger players. And Sanders, with his incredible pedigree, his father, Deion Sanders, is a Hall of Famer, has embraced this mentorship wholeheartedly. The bond between them isn't just about learning plays, it's about trust, guidance, and building a culture of excellence. And speaking of Deion Sanders, the legendary cornerback and coach, he's publicly voiced his support for Watson during a tough moment. When Watson tore his Achilles back in October against the Bengals, there was a lot of concern, and some fans even cheered when Watson was down, which, frankly, was pretty disgraceful. But Deion publicly showed support for Watson, emphasizing resilience and the importance of backing each other, especially in tough times. It's a reminder that the Browns aren't just building a team of talented individuals, they're cultivating a community, a brotherhood that stands by each other through thick and thin. Now, it's not only Watson who's making waves in Cleveland's quarterback landscape. The Browns also drafted Shedeur Sanders, and he's been impressing everyone during minicamp and offseason activities. Even with the injury that sidelines Watson for most of next season, the Browns have an interesting situation brewing. They brought in 2 other quarterbacks, Joe Flacco, a veteran with a Super Bowl ring, and Kenny Pickett, a young promising talent. But the real story here is the mentorship, the competition, and the potential for these young players to learn from seasoned pros. Joe Flacco, at 40 years old, is a veteran who's been around the league for quite some time. He's not the type to brand himself as a mentor, he prefers to lead by example. During OTAs, Flacco mentioned that his focus isn't on being a mentor per se, but on showing guys how he does his job and letting his work ethic speak for itself. That's a smart approach, especially in Cleveland, where fans have seen Flacco step in and perform during critical moments, earning the NFL Comeback Player of the Year award in 2023 after stepping in late in the season and going 4-1. His experience is invaluable, especially in a room with younger quarterbacks trying to carve out their spot. And then there's Kenny Pickett, who's still fighting for a chance to prove himself in this competition. The Browns are keeping things pretty close to the vest, not revealing much about who might emerge as the starter once the season kicks off. But what's clear is that these 4 quarterbacks, Watson, Sanders, Flacco, and Pickett, are all pushing each other, and the coaching staff is giving them a fair shot to earn that starting role. It's a healthy competition, and one that, frankly, could elevate the entire team because of the level of talent and the shared desire to succeed. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Cleveland Browns have been building this roster for a few years now, aiming to become serious contenders again. They've invested heavily in their defense, adding pieces that can dominate in the trenches, and their offensive line has improved significantly, giving their quarterbacks more time and stability. The wide receiver core, with talented young players and veteran leadership, is also looking promising. But the real game changer could be how this quarterback room develops, especially with Watson's mentorship and the potential rise of Sanders. What makes this situation even more fascinating is the dynamic between the veteran leadership and the young talent. Flacco, Sanders, and even Kenny Pickett are all at different stages of their careers, but they're united by the common goal of helping the Browns reach the playoffs and beyond. Watson's presence, even from the sidelines, adds a layer of stability and experience that could prove crucial in high-pressure moments. If Watson returns healthy and confident in the future, Cleveland's offense could become one of the most dynamic in the AFC. But let's not forget the challenges. The AFC North is arguably one of the toughest divisions in football. The Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, continue to be a powerhouse on offense, and the Baltimore Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, are always a threat with their dual-threat capabilities. The Pittsburgh Steelers, under Mike Tomlin, never seem to rebuild, they just reload. So for the Browns, this upcoming season isn't just about competing, it's about establishing themselves as true contenders, and the quarterback room is absolutely central to that effort. Looking ahead, all eyes are on training camp. That's where the real battles begin, where players will show their true colors, and where the coaching staff will make critical decisions about who leads the offense. The mentorship aspect, especially with Watson's influence, could be the X factor that helps a young quarterback like Sanders or even Pickett step up and succeed under pressure. The Browns have a talented roster overall, but the quarterback position remains the key to unlocking their full potential. So fans, what do you think about this new chapter in Cleveland? Are we witnessing a team that's finally ready to take that leap into serious playoff contention? Could Watson's leadership and mentorship spark a renaissance in Cleveland's offense? Or will the competition among the quarterbacks shake out in unexpected ways? It's a lot to process, but one thing is for sure, the Browns are on the cusp of something exciting, and we're here to cover every twist and turn. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This team has a bright future, and it's only just beginning to unfold. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns.